Just start streaming right now. And we should still have the chat filter going on, so that'll be nice as well. Hopefully the balance for audio is pretty good too, but that's like the one thing I'm not completely certain about. We may have to boost the audio in Discord a little bit.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I'm making through.
Yeah, we got. I mean, that sounds like you're at a pretty decent volume, so that's good. All right. Okay, so should we get started?
I'm good if you are.
Alrighty then. Well, oh, dang it. Didn't have the window selected. Hey folks, good evening everyone. Tonight we are playing Pitfall, Mayan Adventure. I am your host, the Mateki, and with me I've got...
Hello, I'm Bob Nader.
You know what, Bob, let me get your volume up a little bit, because this game is actually a little bit louder than I thought it was gonna be. So...
Stretch it a bit too. I'm still seeing your wallpaper.
Oh, no, that's intentional. That's just because the stream window is, you know, it's not going to be widescreen otherwise. So let me see here. I know there's a way to do this. Let me see here. Yes. Okay. Let me crank you up to 1.5. Ought to do it, I think.
1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, that should be a lot better, I think. I don't know if anyone's going to be in the stream to see this or not, but all right. So I think it still thinks I'm using joystick. So let me switch back over to the keyboard controls and actually get this game going. So, like you saw in the intro, this is a game where you're the son of the great explorer Pitfall Harry Jr., and your dad got captured by some evil Mayan spirit, and it's up to you to save him. So that's what's going on here. And the version in question, as you can probably guess, is the PC version, running natively in Windows. Hooray.
So, I think I had this... Yeah, I did have this game, the Game Boy Advance. I don't remember being that great of a port.
Oh god, no, the Game Boy Advance is just terrible. I'm sorry you had to play that version. Because it's...
What?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's washed out. There's absolutely, like, no sound. And let me crank you up a little bit more. Just like as far as we can go, 200%, because this game is surprisingly loud. So
okay, how about now? Am I good? Are we good?
I think so. I mean, I've got the game a little quiet at the moment, but all right, because I'm looking at the stream window and not the actual game. Okay, so because we paused, the CD audio resets, unfortunately, but everything else should be good. Whoa! So in name it's Pitfall, but in practice I feel like it plays a little bit more like Castlevania, right down to sub-weapons.
I was going to say that this seems a lot more like Earthworm Jim to me.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's actually made with the same engine as Earthworm Jim. At least the PC version, they ported it with the same middleware. So it's all pretty weird, I know.
Is it the same engine on the console versions?
I don't know that it is, but it's possible. Like, that's part of how they got these nice animations going, is they use the same system to develop them. And I will say, you had this game, I did too, but I had the Genesis version, which was not bad at least. It is, it feels like it was sort of the targeted platform for the game. And then it eventually made its way to just about everything else that was available at the time. There's ports to, in addition to this Windows version, there's Super NES, there's Sega CD, and 32X, 2 different ports. And there was also one to, believe it or not, the Atari Jaguar.
So I'm trying to think, is your only picture the best version?
Which one?
Is this the best version?
Oh, yes, I would say so, without question.
I'm trying to remember what I heard about the 32X version since they discussing that, what's the name of that channel? You know what I'm referring to, right? This one YouTube channel that covered all the 32X games?
GameSack?
Foundry. Digital Foundry.
Oh, Digital Foundry. Oh, yeah, the Frank Cifaldi thing, huh?
I'm trying to remember what they said about that version. I thought I read issues, I forget what they were.
There are 2 that I can think of. The first one is that while the music is supposed to be the Genesis versions, like identical, when I was always playing it, admittedly only through emulation, so I don't know if this is 100% certain, but I'm willing to believe it, there are no percussion samples. And, dang it. Stupid spiky, whatever, grass stuff. Keeps getting me. But yeah, the 32X version has no percussion samples for some reason, which the Genesis version does. And it mostly looks like the PC version, but it runs at 30 frames per second. Same with the Jaguar version. All 3 of those versions... Well, the 32X and Jaguar versions both came out after the PC version. They used the redrawn art from the PC version, all in 256 color. But they couldn't maintain the good frame rate, so they're not ideal.
Okay, that's what I heard.
Alright!
You know what, I'll wait until we finish this level, then I'll adjust the volume a little bit. Actually, no, the track just ended. This is actually a good time to do that. Let me see here. Getting into the volume mixer, because this game is still pretty darn loud. Cut it down to about half or so. Should hopefully get us to a pretty good level.
Whoa!
Yeah. I think that's a lot better. Okay. And so the thing about the PC version is that it's actually a little tricky to get working because it was designed for Windows 95 and it's thus quite old now.
Whoa!
But to get it working, the 2 things that I really had to do were download an external DLL and replace one of the game's files with it. So I basically copied all of the stuff, like 15 megabytes worth of data, over to my hard drive, replaced the DLL with the one I had downloaded, and then right-clicked the application and told it to run in Windows 95 mode. And the funny thing is, this was meant to run off of the disk without installing like more than a configuration file locally. But it works okay. You still there, Bob?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just listening.
Oh, okay. Alright, just making sure. But yeah, it's... With so many versions of them, I would say that this one is by far the definitive one, but depending on your preferences, you may slightly disagree. If you really like the Genesis music more, then that's going to show up in the PC version, or not the PC version, the Genesis version, naturally. The 32X version, because it uses basically the exact same hardware. It's just not going to sound quite as nice because it's lacking those percussion samples. And then the last one that has it is actually the Jaguar version, which is sort of weird to consider. And then
So what versions have a different soundtrack?
Well, the Sega CD version and the PC version have the same soundtrack by virtue of using, like, a CD audio soundtrack. I don't know why I keep messing this up. So they literally use the exact same, CD-ROM data. The one thing is that the CD audio for the Sega CD version includes a couple of tracks for the boss encounters that just they don't get triggered in the PC version. Which is probably fine, because the Sega CD version also has this really annoying moment of loading before any boss encounter. There are only 3 bosses in the entire game, so it's not a big deal, but it's just annoying. Now that said, all of the music that's on the CD versions of the game are the same as some of the tracks in the other versions. And then beyond all of this, the SNES version is sort of out in left field. It has music that's more consistent, I would say, with the CD-ROM audio in general. But there are a couple of tracks that are arranged a little bit differently. It obviously doesn't sound as good because it's just on SNES sound hardware. And all of the art is completely different from the other versions. Like, everything's been redrawn in a different way. Like, the PC version here was obviously based on the Genesis version in terms of its art, its backgrounds and stuff.
I haven't really played that many versions of this game, so I haven't really had a chance to compare.
Yeah, I mean, I will admit... Yeah, I mean...
Sorry?
Oh, I was just gonna say, playing it once is more than enough, really, just as long as it's... I'm so sorry for you, Bob, that you had the GBA version. I really am.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this was a long time ago. I forget when I had it.
Well, I mean, ever is sort of what I'm saying, because it is, like, the only real good thing it has going for it is that it's portable, and even that's less of a thing these days, because, like, you can emulate most of these other versions on handheld devices now.
Well, I assume it had to at least be out in the Earthworm Jim port.
Yeah.
You really should try out Pitfall 3D, because, among other things, he's voiced by Bruce Campbell, so I'd say that
sounds amazing. Yeah.
Too. It's an okay game. It's like a 7, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing about it or seeing like a review on TV one time, back when television was a thing and they covered video games on it, rather than an extension of the internet for people who live too far to get anything more than dial-up.
Video games and television? What craziness is this?
I know! That's what we good God-fearing humans have YouTube for. Yeah. And Twitch, of course, obviously. We like you, Twitch. Hey, will you promote me to a partner if I continue these shameless plugs? Hint, hint. Twitch. Like you, Twitch. Okay, anyway, back to the video game. 3rd level already. And there's one other thing that I forgot to mention about the Sega CD 32X and PC version specifically, and oddly, not the Jaguar version, which is that they've all got 3 extra levels that show up in the second half of the game, basically, what would otherwise be the second half.
And you'll be showing those off, right?
Yes, of course. They're basically unskippable over the course of the game sequence, unless you were to cheat. I will say, like, once you've unlocked a level in the PC version, you can access it from a drop-down menu, and I might show that off a little bit later, but...
I'm wondering, did you ever play Pitfall: The Lost Expedition? Because I had that game too.
No, I did not. This was like the only Pitfall game I had, which... Admittedly...
Can I tell you about it?
What's that?
Can I tell you about it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, well, it's a 3D platformer. Yes, it's not quite like Jak and Daxter, but it came in that kind of 3D platformer renaissance, so it feels a little similar. It's okay, but, like, I think, like, the best feature about it is that there's, like, a roll button. And when I say roll, I mean he curls like a perfect spear, and you can just roll him around like that. It's like... almost like the Morph Ball, almost. Just him just curling down into a perfect ball and just rolling wherever you choose. It's kind of weird looking, but it's pretty great.
I bet it sounds bizarre from what you're telling me. I don't know if I'm gonna make this, but it's basically just a game of Simon for lives and points and stuff.
Yeah.
This patterning's pretty easy.
Yeah, this one's not so bad. I've gotten some real fiendish ones. Nope. And I screwed it up right before the extra life. Oh well, we'll have more than enough lives by the end of these next couple of levels.
Have you finished this game before?
Yeah, I actually played through it a few different times trying to clear it on my modern laptop, and it would always crash partway through. It may do that again this time, I'm not sure. But then fed up with this, and in fact the whole reason, like I purchased this within the last month or so as part of the Activision Game Archive or something, Volume 1. And it's like $8, so if there's any one reason why the PC version is the best version of the game to get, it's because you can probably still find it pretty darn cheap if you're not like too worried about having like super fancy packaging and the original box and all that good stuff.
So the Activision Game Archive, what was on that?
The other games in the collection are the first Earthworm Jim, Return to Zork, and I think Shanghai. And there's like 3 discs. Zork and Shanghai are on their own disc, and Earthworm Jim is on its own. And it's it's based off of the Sega CD version, so it has in addition to redrawn graphics, it does have those extra levels that were otherwise only in the Sega CD version. And it's a shame that, both of these games almost run perfectly on modern hardware because no one's thought of selling them. They've got the whole can of worms pack for Earthworm Jim, the DOS version, showing up on GOG, but the PC version, like the Windows 98 version that's in this collection, really is the way to go, I think. Because it's got those extra levels, all that good stuff. Let's see if I can get that one up. Oh, jeez. These dang rats.
It seems like a lot of cheap bits in this game from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's got that same sort of thing that a lot of like shiny games did, where the collision detection is kind of inconsistent due to all of the sprites being hand-drawn, rather than being nice, convenient boxes. Ah, shoot. I gotta do it all over again. Oh well. It's only for a 1-up. It's not that important. I'm just gonna... Oh, shit. I forgot about that rat. Well, let's get that rat. Oh yeah, that's the one thing that sort of irritates me about this game, is that if you basically touch a wall, Harry Jr. just kind of gets knocked out cold basically every time.
Yeah, that looks like it's really hard to deal with after a while.
Yeah, it's
damage when that happens?
What's that?
You take damage when that happens?
No, you don't, thankfully. You just get knocked back for a bit, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You know what this makes me want to go play?
What's that?
You know what this makes me want to go play for some reason?
Oh, what?
Maui Mallard, if you ever play that game.
Oh, man, I remember trying to play it one time, and I forget why I stopped playing it, but yeah, I can definitely see that. They're pretty similar games. So this warp is fun. We've got not just one, but 2 games here. This is literally the original Pitfall.
Oh, sweet.
And I'm terrible at it. Also, I keep thinking that I need to press the up button to jump, because I think that's what you had to do on an actual 2600 to control it, but that's not what you do here, so.
Do you get anything for finishing this mode?
What's that?
Do you get anything for finishing this mode?
No, just the satisfaction of a job well done, I suppose. Like, if you like the original Pitfall, it's right here. Every version of the game has it, too, so that's pretty nice.
I'm gonna assume this is a recreation, not a
No, it's
emulation.
not. I'm pretty sure it's not emulated. I think it's a direct port, and it sort of came along for the ride when everything else was ported, too. Because otherwise they're coding up Atari 2600 emulators for every goddamn platform, and that just seems unlikely. So you know how I was saying that getting pushed into the wall at like more than like a couple pixels a second is really annoying? Yeah, because there's stuff to collect here that's sort of in the dark. And oh, that's right. I forget how this goes. There we go.
There's some kind of crackling on your end, I think. I'm not sure why it's coming from.
Might be something to do with the game audio, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just lag. Or it could just be my microphone is absolutely crap because I got it for like $5 and discount online sort of thing. Anyway, I think the only way to go back is to go back through the Pitfall game again, so I'm just going to lose my lives very, very quickly here. But again, you know, it is straight up Pitfall, and in fact, let me see if I can show you this. Oh, you can't actually see it, but it is like when you select from the drop-down menu at the start of the game, the 2600 level is one of the options. So you can just start playing the 2600 game from boot up, basically. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, this is in the other versions, right?
It's in all of them, I think. But it's easiest to access in the PC version because otherwise you have to play to this level to reach it. Now you can play it, you know, basically infinite times because the little portal to go in there just stays open. But if you wanted to like beat the game in a reasonable amount of time, it's probably not a great choice of action because this is a fairly long game. And you pointed out, Bob, that you. And I agreed with you that the collision detection in this game is a little bit off. And I think that's sort of true for a lot of American-made games of this era especially. And that's sort of related to the issue I'm running into right now, where there's like a specific part of this little tunnel where you can stand up. And there we go, that's where it was. You get
Shadowhog says, I'm sorry.
What was that?
Shadowhawk says that apparently the other versions have a code you can use to access the 2600 game.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta press, like, in the Genesis version, I think it's different for most of them, but in the Genesis version, you have to press the down button, then the A button, like, 26 times. That's right, 26 times. And then down again to access it. It's like, no way am I pressing the A button 26 times exactly. That's for chumps. So I just never played it. But I did have like a little hint guide for the game that showed you where most of the secrets were and what most of the cheat codes were too, but they did not have level select printed in there either. And I gotta say, you know, versus typing it out, that the menu option is the easiest one. But there are cheats in the PC version that you can just type out on the keyboard, and they're all pretty easy to type out. Like IDDQD. The game has paused, and unfortunately, the pop-up is not visible because of how OBS works. but it's the 3 dudes who developed the PC version standing in front of like the logo of the game. And there's a little box here that says, "Nice try, this isn't Doom." And
Nice.
you might be able to see it if you go online on like the TCRF stuff or whatever. I think they have it showing up there, the little icon. There we go. Those are always a little bit irritating because it's not always obvious what the timing is for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those sorts of games where you don't have a whole lot of choice about avoiding damage, but sometimes you can just either push through it or just say screw it, I'm going this way. So yeah, we skip not like a huge amount of the level, but a little bit, including access to here, because I don't think we're gonna need it.
Is there a speedrun in this game? I assume there is.
There are a couple, I think. I think I've seen one for the Genesis version. Speaking of speedruns, if you're gonna speedrun, don't try to push that lever, because what you gotta do is you gotta wait for like 5 minutes for Harry to go into a specific resting pose. He'll lean against the wall, and his collision will be in such a way that that's the only way he can trigger that push button. And it gets you an extra life, which might, be handy if we didn't already have 9 of them.
That is such an obscure secret, though.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, this game has some kind of hidden stuff, but that's like on an entire other level of just WTF for hiddenness. You know what's sort of funny, though, is that this is one of the, I guess you could say, 3 or 4 levels with bosses. The final boss is really its own stage.
How are the boss fights in this game?
Well, this one is basically the same one as the one from the first level, just that there are 2 jaguars instead of 1.
Something not great.
Nah, they're not super impressive or exciting or anything. They are a little tricky, though, but for the most part, they are pretty ignorable. And if you saw me pause just there, that's specifically so that the game audio will loop properly. Like the CD audio doesn't actually loop if you try to play it on a modern system. So if you pause and then unpause, the track starts at the very beginning, so it's almost as good. So yeah, 2 jaguars this time. Ooh. It's actually a little bit trickier, especially if you're Okay, I'm probably going to adjust the controls because this is not usually where I have my action buttons.
Yeah, this doesn't look like the best boss I've seen.
Yeah, it's really easy to wind up just connecting with their hitboxes in bad ways. So I'm gonna pause for a second just so that I can set the keyboard the way I want it to be. Let's do that. That ought to work. Yeah, that's the way I like the keyboard. I probably should have used my stones for that. Oh well. Oh, actually, you know what? I take that back. I am going to adjust the controls again because I think I screwed it up. Shoot is going to be that button. Whip will be that button. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So jump is S, fire sub-weapon is A, and then whip is D. So in that order, the options menu says that my control configuration is quite sad.
Yeah, I guess if I get around to playing this, I guess I'll play the Genesis version.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to get the Genesis version running, I suppose.
Even if I have a Sega CD version, I
Yeah,
guess either
Sega
way.
CD version's also very good, and minus the little bit of extra loading, it's probably the definitive way of playing it. Ah, crap. Oh, that is not what I wanted to have happen. Well, one of them's down at least. I could never get past that as a kid. I always needed my folks to help me with it. And thankfully, most of the time when I did play it, I either couldn't get this far because my cartridge had some issue and the entire game would reset, like one of those error trap handlers, just reset the game completely sort of thing.
Huh.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, that one's... This is the heart. Hooray!
Weird question. Aren't there any levels that reuse tile sets?
Yes, actually, the second half of the game is basically a one-to-one copy of the first one, with very small differences in graphics, mostly just palette choices. So one thing that the game does mention, if you kind of let the demo stuff run for a while, is what all of these little treasury things do.
Oh, yeah.
And the answer to that is they give you extra continues. And I'm not collecting them too aggressively right now because if I really wanted to grind for continues, and this sort of may happen by default just because the level in question has a lot of one-hit kills, like everything that kills you in one hit, and you'll know it when we get to it, but oh shoot. Yeah, these spider webs are tricky to control. Because you have some control over your aerial momentum, but it's a little bit less than you think it is, at least at the start of your jump. So it's really finicky actually getting to aim and hurry the way you want it to. And there's a guy, just off screen. And we already killed him.
Good job.
See, the game, if it's gonna be cheap, I can be cheap right back at it. But actually, no. I mean, honestly, compared to a lot of games of this era, and you know, from Western devs especially, I feel like it's overall, well, mostly pretty fair. But then stuff like that happens, and I maybe eat my words a little bit. But yeah, like a lot of these games have really maze-like design, and despite the fact that it might be appropriate for a game that's based on Pitfall, it's actually fairly straightforwardly laid out overall, I think. Which is part of the reason why I'm bothering to play it at all. Because, like, you can generally tell where you need to go at any given point in time, even if the levels wind around a bit.
I imagine the checkpoints help there.
Yeah, that's also true. But, I mean, I did have a guide, so maybe part of the reason why it feels sort of natural to me is that I knew how the game worked because I was able to read about it. But yeah, the checkpoints, as you can see, you know, when you activate them, they do kinda, maybe not quite, point you in the direction that you need to go. And time to collect another little secret by flipping that switch and then taking another one in a second. Ah, I hate this snake. Why did it have to be snakes? But yeah, oddly, While there are different CD audio tracks for basically all of the main stages in the game, like a couple of the ones that are unique to the Sega CD version reuse tracks from the unique levels, like the main 12 stages in the game all have actually unique CD audio tracks. And overall, like the second half of levels is the one that has the same music in both this version and like the Genesis, 32X, and Jaguar versions.
Hey, what are the letters you're picking up?
They just get you a little bonus at the end of the game saying, hey, you got all the letters, pretty much. But as you can guess, they spell Pitfall. It's funny, they put like 3 letters all together in sort of the first part of the game, and then they put the last 3 at the very end of the game. So there's some in the middle, some at the end. And if you want to do like a true 100% clear sort of thing, then you have to get all the letters. Sorry, that dude kind of interrupted my train of thought a little bit. And one of the fun things about using the sling stones, the default weapon, is that you can do that. And this is another one of those Simon games, but I'm not going to bother with it because there's not really enough to make it worth my time or yours. So I'm just going to keep moving. And there's another one up in that pot that I'm skipping over. But these are useful. There's probably going to be a point near the end of the game where I'm just going to grind for them to make the final boss as easy as possible. He's kind of a nasty one to hit if you're not playing carefully.
I might ask you to just go and turn off the final boss once you get to the point where the tile sets repeat, if that's okay.
Oh, just okay.
If you'd be okay with that, I mean.
Oh, sure. If you don't wanna see the whole thing.
Well, it's up to you.
All right. I mean, it's not like this is an overly long game. I feel like you can beat the whole thing in an hour and a half if you know what you're doing. And I am going to try to take more shortcuts in the second half of the game to try to make it go a little bit faster. But there are a couple of levels, and I will point them out. Like a couple of the Sega CD unique levels are just they're nice layouts, but they're not super well matched to the actual way that the game handles sometimes, and so they can be a little frustrating. In
somebody's
almost...
asking if you can see the chat.
Yes, I can see the chat. I haven't really been looking at it. I've been looking at the game screen, so. But yeah, I can see that it is there at least. I don't know. I hope you haven't been sending any particularly important messages, because I have not been looking at them. But yes.
Someone's asking how your night's been, and this is not Sonic 3.
What about Sonic 3? What?
This is not Sonic 3, apparently.
No, it is not. I thought I had changed my broadcast settings. Does it still say I'm streaming Sonic 3?
It does.
Oh, well, let me fix that. Okay. I will update my information. There we go. I thought I had already done that. That's what's going on. Okay. My sincerest apologies to anyone who was confused and was expecting, I guess, another Sonic 3 stream or something. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, this is the actual game I'm playing tonight, which is Pitfall. What's yours is Mayan. Ah, crap. Yes, alright. And back a few screens, unfortunately. This is one of those ones where there's just so much stuff piled throughout, and it's long enough that it's really hard to get through on one play. Like, there are just so many easy ways to take stupid hits. So I'm not too worried about dying here. Where I am worried about is in like the last couple of stages where they have like even more of those weird tar pits, because the game has a really high tendency to crash in those, especially when it's been running for a while. So
Is this just PC version or any version?
just the PC version, but I mean, again, like I said, my Genesis version had, I think it was a tendency to crash as well. And I mean, I don't know what was up with that.
Is this for like a memory leak or something?
It's possible. They have like a frame counter in there, and it could be that if it just goes too far and eventually you die, the frame counter crashes the game. It's quite possible. If I had to make any one guess as to what the issue could be, I would be willing to say it's that. Alright, just jump over the wheel. Don't go for the extra life. That wheel kills you in one hit if it touches you, and that's bad. Alright, second half of the game. It looks a lot like the first level, but now everything is blue. I should change the description to "this level is kind of blue." But yes, my apologies to anyone who came in expecting a Sonic stream. Was disappointed, but I mean, I like this game. Even now, even with all of the ways in which I realize that it's kind of frustrating and maybe even a little bit cheap, dare I say.
You make it look pretty fun anyway.
I mean, I do genuinely enjoy playing it. And again, you know, as a kid, I could never get this far because it was like genuinely really hard at that one boss. But when I say genuinely hard, I also mean that a lot of that just comes down to the fact that the collision detection is weird. Those cat's tails are extremely cursed-like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh right, we've already got him. We don't need to go. What we'll do is we'll just zip line to this. So I don't know if you saw it, but the next letter is hiding over here. And I actually, one time I did manage to get here one time as a kid, because if the boss didn't get me, that damn wheel at the end of the previous stage did. But one time I got this far, and I did in fact...
So what were the others about? Was there like a contest going on or something?
What's that? Oh, no, they're just there so you can get proof that you 100% cleared the game, I guess. Alright, yeah. Oh, shit. Let me try that one more time. There we go. Alright, so... We are almost done with this level already. It's actually a bit of a breather after those really long ones, which is kind of nice, but I like the music, so that's a little bit of a shame.
It is good music, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that's like, all of the sort of attention to detail and its production values of this game is very well produced overall, even if, like, the collision detection kind of suffers as a result. It's otherwise a very nice game. And this game, this level, I mean, is the introduction, or reintroduction, I suppose, of those infamous crocodiles. Wouldn't be a Pitfall game without crocodiles to stand on. They sometimes like to eat you.
Glad they at least had new enemies next second time around.
Yeah. I mean, the game definitely does develop itself. It's not like the second half is a complete recapitulation of the first, and this level is probably the strongest one of the bunch, but... Alright. So obviously you don't want to try to stand on those crocodiles when they've got their mouths open, but maybe somewhat mercifully, they don't open their mouths while you're standing on them, unlike in classic Pitfall, which makes them, you know, not as frustrating to deal with.
Is jumping on their mouths instant death, or...?
Oh no, someone got bodied by Bloodborne, it sounds like. Oh man. Yeah. I'm sure I'd be saying the same thing if I had a PS4. So this is an...
I just know. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, this is an interesting level. If it seems out of sequence because there's no mine in between this and the last one, the reason it seems out of sequence is because it sort of is. It's one of those Sega CD bonus levels. And it's really all about these crazy platforming challenges. It's... I mean, I like the idea, but it's a little bit annoying simply because the collision with the tongues is a little off. The aerial control feels a little inconsistent, but it's got a few shortcuts that make it a little bit more playable. Ah, there we go. Oh man, a Sega CD just to play Snatcher. You know, you're the second person I've had a conversation with saying that. Oh wait, no. Wait, are you the dude I was talking with the other day about the awesomeness of the Genesis sound card? Because my apologies if I forgot your name from the other day. In which case, you know, welcome to the stream. Sorry for not paying attention earlier. Yeah, okay. Hey, dude. Yeah. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, this level seems like it's gonna get pretty annoying pretty quickly.
Yeah, the worst part is just waiting for these platforms to flip. And then if you miss the jump, like you'll probably see in a minute that I just did, it takes a while for you to get right back. There's no, like, ticking or anything as to when these things are gonna flip. You have to guess. And if you screw up, it's sort of like right back to the start for this section. Oh. And then if you just walk off the edge like I do... I usually am not this bad at this stage, I will say. I mean, it takes me a few tries to get up here, but when I do, I don't usually wind up falling all the way back down like this. And sort of like I was saying about the aerial momentum being a little weird, this is kind of what I'm talking about right here, because, like, it's very easy to just not be going far enough to hit these tongues.
I wouldn't mind if you just want to do the next level now.
I kind of want to see if I can play through it all in one sitting. I mean, it's funny, this level's difficulty curve is sort of backwards. I mean, a lot of these vertically oriented levels tend to be simply because, you know, as you get further and further up in the stage, it's harder to fall all the way down. Like, the waterfall level at the second part of the stage was kind of like that, too. Or the second part of the game, I mean. Sorry, I'm trying to not screw up here. Oh well, I mean, this is definitely the longest level, just in terms of how long it takes me to grind out an actual god success. A Model 1 Sega CD. Honestly, if you can get a hand on that, that's... I would go for it. Because you can, like, Snatcher is, like... I won't deny it. I pirated a copy of Snatcher myself because it is just way too expensive and not, like, being sold by anyone other than, you know, secondhand sellers. So I'm not paying $500 to someone for a complete copy of the game. Oh shit, yeah, that's right, you do Shadowhog, don't you? Man, I am extremely jealous of that fact.
I figured out how to set up Sega CD and or just play Eternal Champion CD.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that counts because it wasn't a real Sega CD, but...
I mean, that one's interesting. I think it's supposed to be a lot better than the Genesis one, for what it's worth. It's certainly a lot more violent, by far.
It's different. It's a little better, not amazing.
Yeah,
It's a little more fluid. There's a little more combo ability, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, because I think I tried playing it one time. Because, you know, all one of those sorts of Sega CD games really cost you is... Ah, shoot. Ah, I missed the timing again. Yeah, as you can see, like, it is not a very fun level the 12th time around. If these things moved a little bit more quickly, I would enjoy it a lot more. But I get kind of impatient and so tend to rush it, or just miss the jump completely because it already sort of falls out from under my feet. But alright, let's see if we can do this. Can I get to this? Oh. I feel like a bit of an idiot now, because I could have just skipped like half of that.
Oh yeah.
Alright, this one's not quite so hard, I think. Ah. I take it back. I screwed up the timing because I thought it was like the other ones. Alright, one more, and then we're gonna go for the tongue.
That's what she said.
Ah!
Sorry.
No, that's great. I like that. But yeah, I've got like a big, like, I think it fits like 190 discs, and so about half of that is just old burnt Sega CD stuff, and it's great. I love it. Because you like a lot of that stuff you'll never see again. Like the Jaguar XJ220 is really wonderful looking. It's one of the smoothest racing games of its era, and while it's not like the totally Mode 7 sort of thing, it is. Like, it genuinely looks really nice in that sort of outrun kind of style, and it's just so smooth. It really is. Because it's, you know, it's got the advantage of the Sega CD sort of scaling ASIC that's not quite, but kind of like Mode 7. And I got carried away again, and got very stupid. Oh, shit, I nearly fell off all the way. So yeah, I don't know if I like these extra stages as much as the rest of the game, but I do like that they are sort of very well focused on like one or two straightforward ideas. They feel coherent in a way that maybe not all of the game does.
The concept seems okay. This
Yeah.
just seems really annoying to actually do.
Right. It would be a lot better with just some very minor quality of life improvements. Like in a Mario game, you get like a little countdown before the little things switch, and they're all on a global timer, so you know when it's going to happen.
Hey, Techie.
Yes.
I'm just gonna warn you. I think my connection's breaking up a little bit.
Okay, I think I heard you cracking up a little bit before. And yeah, I definitely agree with what Ghost Taster is saying, that if you're paying like way more than $150 for a game, you're probably not making a sound financial decision. Ah, shoot, I did it again. If it was a little bit clearer to tell where the tongues were when you fall, it would be nice, or if their collision boxes were just a little bit more generous, but no, unfortunately, it's very easy to look like you're actually going to land on the tongue, and then you fall into nothing. Hooray! We finally did it! And there are some extra bonus items if you go on the other side. I am not going to do that because I think in order to get them all, you have to fall partway down the stage. But from here on, we're a lot clearer. Like, we can't really fall past this area unless we try, I'd say. Because if we go into that hole, we'll just grab the rope. That said, the platforming is a little bit finicky here because of the way the momentum works. And
I couldn't tell.
I think the other problem is I'm still looking at the stream preview window for all of this. So there's just enough lag on it to be like really, really messing me up. So if I actually look at the game window, I should hopefully do a little bit better. There we go. And we are almost done with this stage. And now we are actually done with this stage. Hooray! And now for the Tomb of Palenque, which attaches to that. Okay. Flip. Okay. Near mint 133. Oh yeah, the Dragon Warrior 4 NES copy that you showed me. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. Yeah, Ghost Rider, we were sort of talking amongst ourselves the other day, and he showed me some of the rarer games from his collection. Because I think we were just talking about all these old retro consoles and games we have from them and stuff. So the focus on the previous stage was mostly using those tongues to get around. This one's mostly spike balls and spider webs. And the thing about those spike balls is that they really knock you way out of the way, and I'm pretty sure they do a lot more damage than just about anything else in the game. And they
I didn't know things did variable damage in this.
I think that's true anyway. It seems like they do more damage than other stuff. But I haven't tested. I don't like have a little HP display kind of thing. All you got is that little graphic of the crocodile that's slowly trying to eat Harry.
So when's the level with all the one-hit kills you mentioned?
After this one, actually. Oh, shoot. I could not get to the heart in time.
All right.
Well, I guess it wasn't a complete waste. Ah, Mega Man 3. Yeah, gotta be able to read it. Yeah, the only Japanese game I own, and this may well have been a mistake for that sort of reason, Phantasy Star for the Master System. I wanted to have potential access to that sweet, sweet FM sound. But, of course, I don't actually have any hardware that can provide that specific FM sound for it, so it's all kind of a waste.
Also, hey, Cambert.
Oh, did Camembert join the...
Don't mind me crashing in.
Oh, hey! Welcome! We're not quite... We're sort of... I call it the back half of the game, even though there are a couple extra levels in the Sega CD version, but yeah, we're basically, like, actually halfway through Pitfall the Mayan Adventure now.
You see.
Yeah. So this is one of those 3 extra levels, and then we got a fun little mine car ride after this that you'll all really enjoy for the first, like, 5 times I play it, I think. Ah, shoot. Okay. There we go. Thank God for the many, many health drops in this game.
Thank God that those spider webs don't break.
Oh yeah, actually they don't. You can keep hopping on them as many times as you want, I believe, and they stay pretty much intact. That pot I skipped over was a 1-up, but I don't need a 1-up. You can't get more lives than 9 lives anyway. So it is not worth risking more not-so stuff. And yeah, the Phantasy Star soundtrack for PSG is actually really nice. There are a couple of sound effects in it that are, I think, maybe even a little bit better sounding than the FM Synth one. Like especially that sort of plane or I guess space shuttle takeoff sounds really good in PSG. But it is also one of the games that like really use the FM chip to its potential, I think. So yeah, like I was saying, one-hit kills. The only thing that kills you are these dang mine carts that are just sort of sitting around the levels. They're alerted to by the red lights that are on the edge of the screen there, and they kill you in one hit. Case in point. That said, this isn't a terrible level to keep dying on, because the treasure gets you lots of continues. Like, anytime you get 50 of these golden coins, or the various other items, like silver bars are worth 2 coins, gold bars are worth 5 coins, and then the diamond rings are worth 10. So every time you get, like the equivalent of 50 gold coins, you get a continue. Ah, shoot.
It seems to be actually really hard to run out of lives in this game.
They give you a lot of rewards if you know what you're doing. And yeah, this game came out like right around the same time that Donkey Kong Country did, like sometime in 1994. Like they definitely feel very much of the era. It is sort of nice that this is like the only real true auto-scrolling minecart level of the game. But, like, otherwise this level really doesn't sort of make any sense because it doesn't have anything to do with the sort of Mexican jungle and Mayan room themes that the rest of the game really has going on. There we go, that's a continue right there. Losing 1 life for 1 continue is definitely worth it, especially on this level because there are no checkpoints. And when you die, whether or not you lose a life or a continue, like you get to keep your special weapons, which I really haven't been showing, but I've been collecting. And they're that one little glowy stone thing and boomerang, which do a lot more damage than my pathetic sling stones, which do the same damage as the whip I use most of the time, but are just projectiles.
So how far in the game are you now?
We have, after this, 3 more stages, I think. But I'm probably going to spend a little bit of time grinding on one of them, because it makes the rest of the game just that much easier. Oh, shoot. That was close. Okay, we made it to the end. Without too many deaths, even.
Alright!
So that is... It's a fun level, but you can die a lot in it. And... Oh man, Donkey Kong Country in 3 hours. Did you 101% it? Or was that just like, to the final boss sort of clear? And, oh yeah, the other thing is the ending of this game really sort of feels very inspired by Donkey Kong Country, too. And if you remember the ending to Donkey Kong Country, when you see it, you'll kind of see what I mean. It is a great ending, though.
What came first, this or Donkey Kong Country?
I think Donkey Kong Country did, just a little bit. Oh, 50%. Ah, okay. Yeah, a lot of those secrets are just really sort of annoying to get to.
Whoa!
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I also, I misspoke. There's 3 levels and a boss. And this is the other Sega CD exclusive level, or Sega CD and, well, PC and 32X. Now when... Oh, I did it again. I just ran off the edge of the level. Alright, so... Let's not lose all of our lives, maybe. Okay.
Time to focus.
What was that?
Time to focus.
Yes, definitely. I may need to get a little bit more serious. Oh, shoot. I thought he was a little bit in front of me and I died. Ow. I think we're good. Yes, we're good. Okay. I think the rest of this level isn't so bad, but you do have to watch out for this crocodile. So. Also, it's a little bit subtle because all of the levels with like the same sort of theme basically have the same sort of music behind them, but this is actually a unique track for this stage. But yeah, it's not immediately obvious because it sounds a lot like the music for the other two stages that have this theme.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh man. Oh, real hardware recording of the Donkey Kong Country 3 soundtrack. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I don't listen to that one as much. I'm a little bit more familiar with the GBA version soundtrack, but it's some very dramatic music. And again, a little pause right then and there just so I can reset the CD audio because it was at Yeah, if you haven't noticed, that's kind of a theme with this game, is just falling back down to a previous part of the level. Alright,
Donkey Kong Country music always seemed very demo scene to me.
Yeah, I can definitely hear that. It's that very sort of European kind of tracker music.
Hey, Detective.
Yes.
I really hate to do this to you, man, but I feel like I'm about to pass out.
Oh no, that's fair. I know it's a lot later where you are, so that is. If you gotta bail.
It's been really good to watch the stream, though. Thank you for doing it.
No, it's cool. I'm glad you
Sorry
joined.
for missing out the ending and everything.
No, don't worry about it. But I will.
Thanks from me as well.
Yeah. What I am
Thank you for streaming, though. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I am going to try to push my way through to the end if I can.
Whoa!
So, you know, hopefully.
Whoa!
Good night.
Yeah, good night, dude.
Whoa!
Good night.
Whoa!
Alright.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, there we go. There is a one up here, and... Alright. It's a little bit tricky to get to.
Yeah!
And... I just fell all the way back to the start of the stage, like a moron.
Yeah!
I'm gonna let myself... I'm gonna take the hit for that, just so that I don't have to replay the whole thing. There we go.
Whoa!
Because that was bad.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Ah. Alright, okay. Yes! Oh man, yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing that this game has in common with Earthworm Jim. It's a lot of... Whoa! Yeah. Alright. Okay. So the good news is we're getting actually pretty close to the end of this level. And I'd say the really evil stuff is finally behind us.
It's not like Commander Keen 2, right? Where it's just like you have to do the entire stage in one go.
No, thankfully, no. But we may get a game over here technically, so we might start dipping into the continues pretty soon. Because this level has a couple of those sort of cheap mechanics to it again. Like the little platforms over the abyss kind of thing. There we go. Okay. And just a lot more stuff firing at you in general.
Spinal. That's what the skeletons remind me of.
Oh, yeah.
From Killer Instinct.
Oh, hey. Oh, shoot. That was stupid. I forgot that one was not a good pot. But it may not matter, because I think we may end up dying right here. Hey, nope, we're good. Never mind. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Bouncing off their tongues, is it?
All right.
Alright, and so there's a little secret switch here. We've just pushed it. That gives us access to a little secret passage in a second. Ah, shoot. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this little bit is really, 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 really dangerous. But it's nice that they give you the little one-up right before it, or after it. There we go. Okay. Alright, now the rest of this stage is going to be pretty easy overall, thankfully. Because there's really not much left to it. And there's the letter A, full heart, all that good stuff. Extra sling stones. And even a little bit more treasure for us. And so now the next thing we gotta do is, believe it or not, just keep dying until we get enough lives to go on from here, basically. So we're gonna get the extra life there too, and just keep collecting these items until we have what I feel is going to be enough to beat the game without needing to collect it. So this might take a couple of minutes, so, you know, if anybody has any idea to fill all of our wonderful dead air that's about to be happening, you know. Anybody know any good vaudeville routines, for example? Alright, but yeah,
Oh yeah. All right.
Okay. Oh yeah, talking about RGB modding the Genesis and stuff. I think those like I forget what brand it is that sells them, but it's like a really small company that just sells like component cables that you can plug into your Genesis. And they're like $50 each, which is admittedly a lot cheaper than 32X is. So it's probably your best bet overall for getting set up. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
If yeah, or Shadowhog suggesting, yeah, I definitely have considered the Get an S card cable and then the video re-encoder sort of thing. Yeah. Yep. We are literally grinding for items because these numbers, except for the sling stones, they keep going up. Like, see, we got 30 boomerangs right now. We're gonna die, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna have 31 boomerangs.
Are boomerangs like super powerful or something?
Both them and these exploding stones are a lot more powerful than the sling stones, and it will make these next couple of bosses much easier to have a lot of weaponry for.
Oh yeah.
I find it funny because boomerangs are like the one weapon that's supposed to come back.
Yeah, like you don't need a ton of boomerangs. They really don't give you as many of them as they give you the sling stones or the exploding stones. And I think that's why, is that if they come back to you, they go back into your inventory as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So really, mostly what I'm grinding for specifically is actually these stones, because they do a lot of damage to both of these bosses, and get them out before they can do damage to you is really sort of the name of the game here. And we're at 75. I think I'm gonna try to go ahead and push my luck all the way up to 99. But like I was saying, the longer you play it, the more likely the last level is gonna crash on you. So it's entirely possible I may just have to restart the program and continue from there. In which case, all of this grinding will actually have been completely useless. So you know what? I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna stop here. I think this is plenty. And I'm just gonna start by throwing out boomerangs against this guy, because this is the boss right here. And yeah, he actually absorbs the boomerangs. Most enemies do not.
Just plain eats them up.
Yep. And yeah, he's got this awful... Like, he's tougher than the other cats because he's got a morph that turns him into, well, a furry, I'm gonna say. And so he's a lot harder to jump over because of that fact. Yeah, because sometimes you'll think, oh, he's gonna dash around you, and then just nope, he's gonna continue to be a real pain in the right rear end to hit.
All right.
But on the other hand, you can't do that much to us because we've really got infinite lives here effectively. All right, so. And I'm gonna use the exploding stones from here on out, I think. Because they do just a tiny bit more damage, and I should have more than enough for the final boss, as long as I don't, like, completely die. And they hit him even when he's not, like, completely on screen, so that makes them very useful. There we go. That was actually a little bit easier than I thought it would be. Oh yes, capturing RGB. Yeah, there's like, I know I've been following Jeremy Parrish for a while, and he's, he does a lot of old game videos like that, and there's just so much equipment that you have to get in order to get some of these old systems to work like, the collision on these spike balls is just weird and inconsistent, and I don't like it very much.
Like a per pixel, like freaking spike ball, or like.
Yeah, it seems like once it's retracted in there, like that would be the safest time, but it's actually while it is retracted that it doesn't hit you. So it seems like the collision might be mistimed. but I haven't played any of the other versions in quite a while, so I can't say for sure. So my hope is that we can get through this in one life so that the game doesn't run the risk of crashing, but it's a very tricky level, and it's another one of those ones where almost everything can kill you in one hit if you're not playing carefully. And to get that one up, you've really got to make a risky maneuver. Oh, shoot. Well, maybe we can get it. We're going to die here in a minute anyway. Yep. That stupid missing plank gets me every time. But hey, we're back to our previous health level, so that's good. We can withstand at least a few hits now. And I'm just gonna keep on moving. And you've gotta run to not get hit by that thing. Because again, you know, just like in the previous stage with this style, one hit from those things will kill you. So just don't risk it. But I will risk it here. This one up. And I'm gonna go get out my boomerangs again, because they are very useful here. And god, those platforms in the middle of the things in the middle of the screen are just so annoying. I don't even care about getting the boomerang at this point, because I have like more than enough now. And oh nope, never mind. We're good. I was worried the game was gonna crash out on me again, but it did not. So this is going to be serious time for a minute here. Can't read the chat or anything. I got a platform. Oh shoot. I'm playing like a moron. Alright. I'm really playing like a moron. And we got all the letters! Hooray! Alright. Now to just race after this guy, or not get run over by him, I mean. And we're basically at the end of the level. Doesn't matter. I think that's literally the last thing before full health. Thank God. Okay. Oh yes, about the gem sound. Yes. Yeah, gotta be very careful about it. Yeah. All right. So, final boss. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the Gem Sound Driver is
Come on!
definitely better than it gets credit for being. Because it's actually a really handy tool, just not always used very well. Like, if you understood how Genesis sound worked, you could get really great stuff out of basically whatever sound driver you chose. And again, the game kept crashing for me like so many times before this stream when I get this far. So I am so incredibly glad it did not happen this time. I'm also impressed that I was able to complete it in one continue, barely. Yeah. Tallarico was good. Stephen Miller did like some of the coding for Earthworm Jim's soundtrack, I think, and some other stuff like the X-Men games. And he was also like pretty clever with the Genesis stuff as well. And yeah, just spamming that hardware or the exploding stones, and we beat the final boss. Oh, John Holland, yeah, the Toe Jam and Earl guy. Oh no, Vector Man. I'm thinking of a different dude who did Toe Jam and Earl. That was also really good. I think that was Gems 2. And Son, What Took You So Long? By literally the original Pitfall sprite. You have survived normal mode. Time for a photo to document your triumph. Well, I got a stream, so close enough, I guess. And now if we press enter, this has a surprisingly long credit sequence. Oh yeah, Spinball had some interesting music that took a very long time before it was emulated correctly. Hey, you still there, Cambert?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Oh, man. That was really stressful by the end of it. I'm just going to sit here and I am going to let these credits play out to the end. Because there's a lot of them.
You should check out the Atari Pitfall post-mortem at some point.
Oh, yeah, the one that David Crane did. I've actually seen that, the GDC talk. It's very good, yeah.
It's crazy that they were even able to get multicolor sprites.
I know. Knowing what I do about the Atari 2600, it's amazing that the game looks as good as it does. Like, it's not, you're not going to get it confused with an NES game, but it is surprisingly close. Whew, man. That game, man. This is the first time I have beaten this game all the way to the end on this computer, actually. Because of those crashing issues, I'd always restart partway through. Oh, man. That's always nice. And we got the 100% clear, too. But yeah, this is probably the version of the game to get, if you're going to get just one version of it. But the SNES version is actually pretty nice overall, too. Oh yeah, Aladdin and Earthworm Jim are definitely good soundtracks to listen to. I mean, Aladdin's maybe not my favorite, but it's quite impressive considering, especially for its age. A lot of those like very early 90s Genesis soundtracks had a tendency to be very grating. Yep. Surprisingly, though, the Pitfall for the Genesis, its sound driver is the one by what is the name? The Crystallis, the Sean Hollingsworth one. That games like the Psygnosis games, Pugsy, Lemmings, Wiz and Liz, those games used.
Forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, like they were probably the most outstanding of the European Genesis sound design soundtracks, I think, overall. There was a lot of really good stuff. Some fascinating, again, very demo scene-y, like, kind of techno sounds in it. And, yeah, Howard Drawson did do Comic Zone. That one, I don't think quite gets enough credit, and I think it's another case where the emulation for some of the sound patches was just really bad for a very long time. So people didn't actually understand what those songs were really supposed to sound like. Yeah. Because there's some, like, percussion samples that wind up being just they're supposed to be like hi-hats and stuff, but instead they sound like these really annoying, very pitchy synths, and they're not supposed to be. And Kroyer Films, the original animators. And, like, the PC version, like, the guys who actually worked on it on the software side, just 3 dudes. But then you've got, you know, all of the people who are actually working on making the Genesis game work, which was a different team. And then you've got all the people who are doing the 256 color conversion for PC. But, yeah, it's basically they took the Genesis version and then they redrew everything. And I think I forgot to mention this before, but one thing that you'll notice, especially in levels where he's got the little shaky animation on the minecart, the infinite scrolling, the auto-scrolling one, I mean. Yeah, oh, geez, the Indiana Jones game. Oh, God, the young Indiana Jones game for the Genesis has, we have agreed, very terrible sound. It is bad. But yeah, the SNES version, completely different art for the most part from any of these other versions. Backgrounds for several of the stages are different. A couple of them are recolored to look a lot unique from the rest of the. It's a very unique version of the game because the art assets are often done specifically for the SNES version. And there's some stuff that looks very nice, like because it's got more colors to process. Harry's a little bit less dithered. Some of the stage art's less dithered too. Like, that's the one thing about the original Genesis and Sega CD versions, is there's a lot of dithering if you try to play them on an emulator nowadays. But the redrawn PC version, 32X version, Jaguar version, much cleaner art. And again, Windows version is the one I think you want to play. Yeah, oh god, yeah. There are just a couple of really bad gem soundtracks out there, and that's like the one is stuff like that Indiana Jones game. Like, it has the same level of sound design as like the Crash Test Dummies game for the SNES. That's a really terrible sounding game, just for reference, excuse me. Special thanks to the Atari 2600, David Crane, Bill Gates. Some people, hey, Bobby Kotick! Because this is an Activision game. Bobby Kotick's in the list. And the Mayan Civilization. Special thanks to the Mayan Civilization. Sorry we wiped you out with all those germs. You knew, like, math and astronomy and crap and shit. Then all that stuff got lost to time because they all died out. Oh, Batman Forever. I don't know what sound driver it uses if it's not gems. But I also... like, that's another one that I do on Sega CD. To be continued, it said, but there was no significance on it. That was Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure, folks. And, I think I'm gonna call it a stream here. Thank everyone who watched for watching and participating in chat and all that good stuff, so...
and thank you for streaming.
Yep. You know, it's like, I've got it for like $8 on eBay. It is, you know, it's not perfect, but it's
always good when you get a good game for a cheap price nowadays.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. And it's not that difficult to get running on modern systems if you look stuff up for it. So, you know, look up the Activision Game Vault Volume 1 and it's on there. And it goes for almost next to nothing on eBay. The Sega CD version is also pretty cheap, but a complete copy tends to go for a little bit more than that. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I go specifically for the PC version. It looks the best, it plays pretty much the best music, all that good stuff. It's easily the definitive version, and it's only a little bit of a hassle to get working on a modern system. So, again, Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure, check it out sometime.